so Polar Park was a great venue to watch a great game of baseball. And I watched Franklin Arias take some ground balls at second base, watch him hit a home run, the whole ball wax. So the two most interesting guys down there are very, very interesting. In Franklin Arias and, believe it or not, Kristian Campbell, who's all of a sudden hitting the crap out of the ball. And not only doing that, I was talking to some hitting coaches, and they were talking about how he has like elite bat speed now. Not that anyone cares, but he has elite bat speed now. He's hitting the ball really, really hard. He seems to have turned a corner. So I don't know where you want to start, Franklin Arias or Kristian Campbell.
Well, let's start with Arias. Is there any shot he gets called up?
There is a shot, and now you know the reason. There would be a better shot if there wasn't a lockout next year. And I say that in case people don't know, if he gets called up, he has to be put on the 40-man roster. Anybody on the 40-man roster now goes on the umbrella of the lockout, so they can't play baseball. So their thing is, well, if we put him on the 40-man roster, then his development might go the other way, because if the lockout lasts a long time, he's not going to be able to play. Now, I will say this: I don't care. Like, if you get a guy on a heater like this guy is, his OPS is in the high 900s in AA. It's in the mid 900s for AAA. He has 4 home runs already with the Woo Sox. He has 23 for the year. He's playing with all kinds of confidence. Kristian Campbell was saying how unbelievably defensively he is. He plays behind him in the outfield. Like, all of this. And sometimes you just get a guy on a heater. That's fine. And they've done this before. Xander Bogaerts was 20 years old when he got called up to the World Series run in 2013. So I say, why not? I don't care. You take your chance with the lockout stuff. I don't care. This is part of the solution. You need as many jumper cables as you can getting through the last couple months, because we've seen what happens if you don't get a little bit of a push over that 5-game losing streak.
Yeah, and that push is certainly important. It's just there's a lot of names, Bradford. I mean, there's a lot of moving parts here, a lot of guys coming back from injuries. A guy like Campbell, who, I mean, really everybody kind of forgot about, but now all of a sudden he's on a heater at a pretty convenient time. I mean, if Arias isn't coming up, it seems unlikely that Campbell would either, but, you know, the more hot bats, the better, right? Like, how do you think this is all going to get managed?
Yeah, it's a good question. You know, to stay with the Arias thing, I think they're just going to ride out Trevor's story, say, hey, listen, take your time getting back, go on your rehab assignment, prove that you're healthy, prove that you're the guy, and if we feel that way, then sure, you're going to play. But there's also, like, Arias playing second base shouldn't be considered a small thing. And I know they say, oh, we're moving him around and everything else. Well, he's playing there, a lot, I think. And so as good as Anthony Siegler is, if you get a guy like this, the upside of a Franklin Arias is a very, very powerful thing. So at least you have to consider that, because we saw that Siegler went the other way for a little bit. I mean, he's been great, no question about it. But it's not like you're going to roll him out in the postseason like, oh, yeah, he's going to be absolutely part of the solution. Same thing with Sogard. I don't know. All I know is that this guy, until he stops hitting, then you just keep moving him up and you see what you have. It didn't work out with Moncada. It did work out with Bogaerts. And with Campbell, if he keeps hitting like this, you have Jahmai Jones sitting there fine. You know, he's a righty off the bench. Darren Duran, he isn't hitting. I think that's more of a stretch to think that Kristian Campbell's going to come up and get significant playing time. But if he keeps doing this, you got to at least have a conversation about it.
All right, now, Rob, what a week. Our own Rich Shartenleib did not ask Chad Tracy about the interim tag. However,
I know.
In the front office report, not only did Sam Kennedy declare they will never sell the franchise, the Fenway Sports Group, and he addressed the interim tag situation. In case folks missed it, here's that answer, and then I want your reaction.
I think that'll be discussed between him and Brez at the appropriate time. But he's, again, it's just obvious to everybody what a great job he's done. So I know him and Brez will talk about that at the right time, and truly, he and the front office are focused on the task at hand. So that'll get addressed. And we'll go from there. But, I mean, it's obviously on everybody's mind. And let's be honest, it's really important that we have that settled at some point here. So that conversation will happen between those two guys at some point here soon, I think.
But for now, he eats free at the Nines.
What do you think, Rob?
It's really important that we have this settled at some point.
Right.
Yes.
It's on everybody's mind.
It's on everybody's mind. But as you know, because I tweeted out and I also directly sent you the screenshot from the Wikipedia page or whatever AI, that Jim, because it has to be true, Jim Tracy, his dad, who went on one of the all-time heaters as an interim manager, won and now a manager of the year in 2009, didn't get his interim tag taken off until I think it was November 18th. So it's not like this hasn't happened where a guy has ridden through an interim. And the other side of that, of course, as we mentioned a bunch of times, is that if things go the other way, they go sideways, you don't want to fire another guy. You get to say, hey, Chad, we appreciate you. Stay on your Worcester contract and be the manager of Worcester. I don't think that's going to happen, but that they can cover themselves that way. But the Sam Kennedy thing is just interesting because he's sort of making it seem like we have to settle this. We have to figure this out.
Right.
You really don't. But the fact that, like, he's thinking that way, like, lends me to what we've said all along, which is here's another – we talk about jumper cables. Well, Chad Tracy, everybody, interim, off the title. He's your manager. Go get him. Go win the World Series. I don't think that would be a terrible thing.
Yeah, I don't think so either. But I think at this point, everyone knows they're not going to fire him this year. I mean, you just had the hottest stretch any team's ever had in the history of the game. Like, and there's only a month and a half left in the season. Like, you're obviously not going to fire him. So at this point, it's all just kind of performative, isn't it?
But it's not firing him this year. It's what do you do next year? So in other words, if they go and they get swept in the first round of the playoffs, do they say, oh, hey, good job, but we have other options? Again, I don't think that that'll happen, but this isn't about that they're going to fire the guy and they're going to replace. He's not getting replaced this year. Right. I mean, that is 110% the case, but it's just about what they do next year. And I do think, I don't know how many people disagree with this. Like, who doesn't think that he's proven enough that he can be the manager for the Red Sox next year?
I don't think anyone thinks that.
Well, no, I think you can be unsure how he'll handle the postseason and whether he's going to be too big for him or.
But wouldn't you say, Bradford, that this really comes down to Craig Breslow? And if Breslow has like a guy in mind that he wants to hire, not just promote from AAA, that maybe that's something that's been going on and the reason why the interim tag's not being removed?
Yeah, maybe. I mean, that could be the case, but. This is like when we talked the other day, Kristian, about, hey, is this on the mind of Chad Tracy?
Right.
Once again, what's on the mind of Chad Tracy is winning because he understands that it's in his court. If he wins, he leaves Breslow no other options. I mean, he's probably already left him with no other options, to be honest with you, because he's done so well. But he leaves him with no options. Like, Breslow can say, no, I have this other guy, Chad Tracy, even though you did this and you made the playoffs and whatever. No, like, you could not do that for Craig Breslow, and I don't think he would want to do that. I really don't. I think they're just slow playing this. As I said, I keep coming back to that sort of thing with the dad and other history when it comes to interim managers. Sometimes it just doesn't get take off till after the year. So be it. Hey, listen, maybe they'll take it off on the duck boat. There you go. That's it. They'll have a time. They'll have a big interim sign. They'll throw it off the duck boat and say, "You're our manager."
How much? Like the Tea Party, right? The Boston Tea Party.
Exactly.
That would look great. Yeah, that would look great.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect. Throw it to the harbor. That'd be great.
Finally, Rob, how much merch can you sell at the Field of Dreams game in Iowa next year?
Oh my God! Are you kidding me? Well, the corn stalk T-shirts are already in production.
If there is a game, right?
If there is a game, thank you, Stiz. That's true. Good point.
Yeah. Well, even if there isn't a game, we're gonna go. We're gonna there's gonna be a game. There's gonna be what is that? August next year. There's gonna be a game. Like, let it be said, let it be done. Yeah.
Who's the manager?
And basically, and you know what? That could potentially be the second annual Baseballs and Boring Night for the Boston Red Sox.
There we go.
Yeah.
Right there.
Should be.